Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In this video I'll be showing you the shawl made from Scheepjes yarn, and it's part of this kit, the Scheepjes yarn kit, and it is available in different colors, and the color kit I have has been named Deep Ocean. It's a limited edition kit, and €2 from each kit sold is given to Kika, which is a Dutch organization which fights child's cancer. A very good cause. Now, what's in this kit? There are 2 skins of Scheepjes Invica color, a beautiful yarn which goes from a grayish blue to a dark green, so it has overflow colors, 2 skins of these, and 3 skins of Scheepjes Invica Extra. So these 2 colors clearly complement each other, and hence the name Deep Ocean for this color kit. So in total 5 skins, and when you're all done it gets a big pom-pom at the end. So you've got a pom-pom maker in there as well, and a label. But before you can even start, you of course need the pattern, and that's also part of the kit. A pattern both in English and Dutch for the knit version of the shawl and the crochet version. I'll be making the crochet version of this kit. So let's get started. So the pattern we'll be making is indeed the crochet version of this pattern. This pattern has been designed by Claire Boeter and is a lovely open shawl pattern. The description of the pattern in English is on the back. One thing to note, the pattern asks for a 3mm hook. I'll be using a 2.5 simply because I crochet rather loosely. So I'm dropping a hook size. The pattern is also in a scheme form on the inside, so whether you'd prefer a description or a scheme, both are available. We'll be making this shawl in steps. First we'll be making the inner flower, which is the first 3 rounds, and then round 4 is in a different color. This is in the overflow color, and we'll be using the join as you go method to actually make the shawl and connect all these flowers together. So row 4 is to both make the flower petals and to connect them to the shawl. So first we'll start by making the first 3 rounds of the flower. So we start the heart of the flower with the unicolor yarn, a regular loop on our hook, and we make chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and close chain 5 with a slip stitch in the first stitch, like so. So now you've got a little loop and a little hole there in which we're going to be making double crochets. We start with a chain 3 for the first double crochet, and then we're going to be making 11 more in that center loop, so in total 12 double crochets. Especially these first few are a bit tricky because you don't have a lot of material to hold on to just yet. And what I also do is I keep this yarn with me and I work over that end, so I'm already connecting it and working it away. So that makes for a more firm final result if all your threads are connected well to the main flower. So continue until you have 12 in total, so that's 11 double crochets plus the chain 3 as a first double crochet, and I've slightly lost count at this point, so I just quickly have to go back and count them. So that's a chain 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoa, I've made 12 exactly. And then close with a slip stitch in the third of these 3 chain stitches from the beginning. like so. So that's the center heart. Now from here in the next round, in round 2, we're not going to be working on the stitch, which how you normally do is like this. So but between the stitches. So if you look at where we are now, this is the chain 3, and in that space between the 2 posts of the stitch, I'm going to enter into and make a single crochet, like so. Then chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and skip one space so skip this space between the next 2 posts, and then in the next one enter into. Effectively that means skipping 2 regular stitches or skipping 1 space between posts, so it just depends on how you look at it. Then you've got a little bow like that, and then repeat 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches, skip this next space and enter here into the space between the double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip this space and enter into the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, again skip a space, enter into the next space and make a single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, repeat once more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and at this point 4, you can close because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops, so this is number 6. You close by joining with a slip stitch in that single crochet stitch. So this is really on the stitch like we normally do. So in that first single crochet you make a slip stitch like so. So you've got 6 little loops around the center heart. Now on this first loop, in the first 2 chain stitches make 2 slip stitches. The reason why you're doing this is that you want to move to the top of this this chain 4, because at the moment you're at the bottom, like so. So now you're really on the top of that stitch, of that bow. Make it chain 1 and a single crochet in that chain 4 space. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the next chain 4 space, so go into that space and make a single crochet like so. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the next chain 4 space make a single crochet, 5, 6, and repeat all the way around, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the next chain 3 space, enter into that space, make a single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain stitches, and again a single crochet in the chain 4 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're all the way around because you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be number 6. You close with a slip stitch in this first single crochet stitch, like so, and here you can cut off yarn and pull through and pull tight like so. You need to make a whole lot of these little hearts, and then in round 4, which we'll be using the multicolor yarn for, we'll be actually connecting, we'll both be making the final petals of the flower and connecting them to the rest of our wrap. Now I've been making a whole lot of these, and then the next step I'll be connecting them. I leave these threads at this moment this one, the one I've just cut off, I'll be working in when I'm making round 4, so I'll be keeping it to the back of my work and working over it. And this one I also leave because this way I know which side of this little flower is the back, because you do not want to have your flowers all mix and match in your wrap, so that way you have them all the same way around. So I make a whole lot of these, and then we can start connecting them in round 4. So we're now on the point where we can start connecting flowers. What I've done here is I've already made a start with the wrap. For example, this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now onto row 6. And in the pattern is described exactly how you should connect the flowers order-wise. And that's given in this scheme here. What you see here is you start with one flower at the bottom, and then you work from right to left, and then again from left to right. So an uneven row 1 is right to left, and an even row is left to right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason to work like this is that this way you use the flow of the colored yarn, that you don't get a all jumbled up wrap, but it nicely flows, the color flows through the flowers. So I'm now at this point here. I have this flower here, is this flower here. So I need to connect a flower next to it. To see exactly how many flowers in each row is also given exactly in the pattern, so you know exactly where you are. So what I need to do at this point is connect a flower here. So if I place this little heart of the flower like so, you can see where you're going with this. This point needs to be connected here. This point needs to be connected here. And you've got here chain 2 spaces. These spaces you'll be using to connect. And also this point here. So this flower you'll be connecting at 3 points. So here, here and here. And 3 spaces you will leave open. Which will be the connection for the next row. So this is where you want to connect this little flower. So for example, so this first one here only connected at 2 points, and this one here will connect at 3 points. Sometimes you have only 1 point, sometimes you have 3 points. It just depends on where you are at that moment. But I'm first going to start by making a petal that is not connected to anything, and that's just to get me started. So I have the colored yarn that has the many colors. It's beautiful yarn. It's also 75% wool, so it's really delicate yarn. Real high quality yarn. Right, let's put this on my hook. And where I'm going to start, where I've finished with this flower. So this is the thread that we just cut off. And I'm going to keep this over this chain 6 loop here, and I'm going to enter into that loop over both threads, and I'm going to make a single crochet like so. So now you've connected both a new color to the heart of the flower, and you're working over the chain 6 and over this edge, this end yarn. I'm going to make 3 double crochets in the chain 6 space. 2, 3, all the time working over that green yarn as well. Chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets in the chain 6 space. Like so, and 1 single crochet. So that is the first leaf finished. I've still got this thread to the back of my work, and I'm still working over it. And I move to the second flower petal, and this one I'm only going to make half, and then I'm just going to start connecting to the rest of the wrap. So it's 1 single crochet and 3 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, like so, chain 1, and now I want to connect this to the other flowers. Now, to make life easier for me, I'm just going to put it upside down. And what I want to do is I'm first going to connect it here, and then here, and then here. So so this way, this is how we're going to connect. Now I'm going to take it like so, and just, this is the back of the flowers. The backs I'm going to put together. Let me just make sure I have the right edge. Yes, this one here. Enter through that tip where you want to connect it to, and make a slip stitch. Chain 1, and then continue with the second half of the flower petal. So that's 3 double crochets, 2, 3, and 1 single crochet, like so. Quickly put it down. You can see what I've now done. I've connected these two together. So now I'm going to make this flower petal in this chain 6 space, and I'm going to connect it to this point here, to that one. So do exactly the same. Start with a single crochet followed by 3 double crochets, and all the time I still have that first piece of green yarn from the beginning. I still have it with me. I'm still working over that as well. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 1, then I pick up, enter through that chain 2 space, pick up the yarn and make a slip stitch. Chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet. See where you are now. So now you've connected here and here. So now in this, now we're going to be making this flower petal and connecting it to this point here. So we do exactly the same. 1 single crochet in that next chain 6 space. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, pick up this space here, slip stitch, chain 1, and then the second half, which is again 3 double crochets, 2, 3, single crochet. Oh yes, before I continue, let me just show you what you've just done. So now you've connected this to this point here and here and here. You still got 2 more petals to do, and these are not connected to anything, so here you can just continue by making flower petals without the slip stitches. So it's 1 single crochet followed by 3 double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 and a single crochet, and we repeat it here again. So I've still got this thread with me, as you can see, so it's connected all the way around, and hence it's going to be very secure. I'm not going to go anywhere. So it's 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets, 2, 3, and a single crochet. And this now is a good point to cut off this yarn, because you've now got it connected underneath the 6 flower petals. It's really not going to go anywhere anymore. And now we're going to close this whole thing with a slip stitch in this first single crochet that we started with, like so. And you can cut off the yarn and pull through and pull tight. There we go. Now, this is looking at what you've done. Now is you've connected this flower to the wrap. So now you've got 1 extra flower connected. Work away these ends and really do this properly, because you do not want these things coming loose when you're actually using your shawl. When you use it, it starts to move, and you don't want anything to come loose or to become untidy. Also, when you're done, you need to block all of these flowers, because at this moment you can see how they're still sitting a little bit together, like a little closed, and to make them open up nicely. You now have all the equipment that you need to make this wrap. Make your little hearts, and then make the flower petals and connect them to the rest of the wrap as you go. It's a long way to go still, because I'm only at row 6 here, and you're going to be making over 60 rows in total. So it's going to be a very big end result. And do take your time with this. I know this is a little fiddly, especially here sometimes, and a mistake is easily made. Keep your mind to it, and I'm sure you'll have a beautiful end result. One more thing, I will not be showing you how to make the pom-pom, because I will not be adding a pom-pom to my wrap. I will be using this for work, and I not want a pom-pom on my wrap for work, because I don't think that looks very professional. That's just my personal opinion. Lots of luck making your end result, and thank you for watching, and until the next time.